It's live, pal. Ooh ah, ooh ah, Iyanu. You know. All right, let's see you try. Now you're not
I
gonna
don't
put
have
yourself in
now.
that
Now
position, eh? Yeah. So
you got it. It's all you.
yeah. There's
It's
3
all you.
episodes that came out. Me and Blue, we're gonna chit chat about it for a little bit, and we'll be gone in an hour. I don't want to go longer. I think that you should begin. Your thoughts on it? When did you hear about it? Was it like me, New York Comic Con? Oh my God, there's a Cartoon Network show based on a comic book.
When did I hear about it?
I only knew about Youneek Studios in passing. I think I saw Black Comic Lords talking about it, and it was on their website. It was one of the like 20 Black comic publishers, and I was like, okay, Youneek Studios, it's a thing.
Yeah, now I think I might follow the guy who do Youneek Studios.
Roy Okupo.
I want to say so.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of like, you know what I'm saying, independent, especially if they Black independent, whether they artists or studios, things of that nature.
Okay.
But no, I think I heard about it. They dropped Cartoon Network did. I want to say, what is it called? Invincible Fight Girl. Have you seen that?
No.
See, you missing out, Chill. I be thinking that you be down, and you ain't been. I be thinking you down, Chill. Now, Invincible Fight Girl, black girl, another black girl cartoon, black lead. You know what I'm saying? And she wants to be a wrestler. This is right up your alleyway, man. Like, I think it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know we ain't going by Rotten Tomatoes and everything, but you know what I'm saying? It's to me, it's still a nice thing to say.
Sure.
But I want to say it was around that time when that dropped, and that's a dope show. That's a real dope show. But I want to say it was around that, and I can't remember. That was last year sometime. So,
and you knew about the TV show coming up, so they animated it, and much like manga, from what I see, it is basically an adaptation of the comic. They're not saying that worked in paper form, but in this time, we got to change it up. The only thing they'll add to, they're adding to fighting scenes. They're extending that.
Right.
But if we're talking cliffhangers, so let's just jump to episode 3. The big surprise that it's actually the Olori is talking to her brother. That's how issue 5 comes to an end. Like it's just like that. It's a good adaptation. I think it's faithful. The creator is very involved. And so like I can rest assured just off the first week, thankfully we got 3 episodes. It's a big enough sample size. I can say if you like that comic book, you will like how this show handles it also.
Yeah, I can get that. I mean, most manga translate damn near panel for panel to animation. That's normally how they do it. And if I haven't read the book or anything like that, but if that's how it is, then yeah, I agree, 1000%. That's a good thing.
I'd be thinking you're down, like you read these books and everything.
No, I didn't read the book.
So it's okay, Blue.
Nope, did not read the book.
You're still gonna bring value to this. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I watched the show though. I watched the show.
What took you by surprise for this show, or did you have expectations for the show?
I didn't have no major expectations. I know a lot of people try to liken it to Avatar. I don't want to put it that high because I don't think the money this season is there.
Of course not.
If it does good, right, you'll see the money go towards certain things. But
if it does good,
if it's good,
I'll hold my thought. You go.
Yeah, if it's good, meaning if it just we got 3 episodes, that don't mean it's good. We got 3 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like we could say these 3 episodes was good or was you know what I'm saying, sufficient, but you got to have a season worth. You might have and I'm not saying that this is gonna happen with them, but you might have a high with these 3 episodes, and then the rest of the thing it drops down. You know what I'm saying? Never know. I'm just that's what I'm getting at business wise. If it throughout this season, if it stays at a high point or whatever, and I don't know what the numbers is, but if the numbers present themselves as high, then yeah, you'll see the money going towards it.
Exactly. I don't know what the measure of success is because I don't know how much did Invincible Fighter, how much money did that make? How much toys did that move? I don't know. But
yeah,
I do know.
Yeah,
I do know that if it's selling more than some of the other stuff that Cartoon Network owns, then it'll definitely be funded even better for season 2, 3, and 4, or however long they go.
Yeah, the good thing about being on Cartoon Network, and I was, cable's not dead. Cartoon Network is a good place to be. It's driven by advertisements. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So you get a better metric, a better measuring than streaming. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
At the same time, you got to pop up your HBO Max and you can get the episodes a day later. I
mhm,
love that strategy. I love it. It makes people, you guys want it? You're a real fan? Wake up on Saturday morning and watch it on TV. Oh,
right.
for your convenience though, don't worry. We can let you stream it in full high definition. It's not no bootleg website, and we're covered. That is
Well,
exactly how streaming services should
yeah,
be
I think
treated.
that's how streaming should be. It should be
Always.
you should want to, what I'm saying, hit two sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? If I'm HBO and I can do a Cartoon Network, then I'm gonna do Cartoon Network. You know what I'm saying? Or TNT, I'm gonna do TNT. Or like Disney
They
should do.
have an
You know what I'm saying?
HBO. They've got Freeform. They've got all of these channels. Disney's channel.
Yeah,
Now
and they should
go
use
ahead.
them.
Yeah, sure. Put your damn Andor on ABC.
Yeah,
The
even though they
next
did do that,
day,
they put Andor. I think they put Andor, and it
debut
was
it and Ms. Marvel. Debut these
no
shows on
right, and that's what I
ABC.
was gonna say. It should be debuted. It shouldn't be we had it on streaming for
Yeah.
you know
And you get all that TV ad revenue
right,
because it's the hot, fresh show. You got to be here now, or fear of
hmm
missing out. It'll be spoiled. You get
right.
people,
I
they'll
think
tweet. It's actually fun to tweet during commercial breaks. Walking Dead taught me that. I love
yeah,
that.
Walking Dead The Walking Dead was they should look at that model. Walking Dead, what was that? AMC?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
So
I
same
remember,
here.
and then they would do the show after Talking Dead. Like it was, like you want to get fan involvement, but I don't think it's a lot of these brands. I think they just don't care about the fan. Like they see something that might make money and forget that in order to make money, the fan is the person who's going to be making you the money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like what
Me,
you was
me
talking
and you
about
are doing
yesterday.
it right now. Iyanu creators
Yeah.
need to be thankful that when King's Port Cow asks me,
Mhm.
"So is Iyanu good?" I tell him, "Yes,
Right.
it is. It's
Mm,
really good, and they didn't drop the ball yet, and the voice acting isn't too foreign to not understand the words.
mm.
They're killing it with it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
should want the fans.
Yeah. That I don't know why they don't go that route. It's crazy to me that they don't try. And I'm always say this: trailers. Why are you stopping me from reviewing a trailer?
Oh,
Why is
they
that
do
an automatic thing that y'all
copyright
do?
strike. Yeah,
Yeah, like why? Why are you shifting through the internet to see if I'm replaying your trailer? Shouldn't you want me to replay your trailer?
you should allow me to be able to react to your trailer and your content, Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
TNT. Allow me to react to it because it promotes it. It's a trailer. Now, if I'm reacting to the full episode, which I actually do, and you can look out
Right.
for
That's different though.
episode 2 is being edited right now, so
Mm,
it'll be up in a jiffy. But if I'm reacting to the whole episode, I completely accept every copyright struck I got
right. That's
for
different.
episode 1.
But a
Yes.
trailer that you
Tell me
cut up
what's
for,
acceptable.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like I don't see the difference in wearing a t-shirt
Yeah.
and a trailer.
This is a Pokemon,
Right.
Arceus. I'm
What you
promoting
are now
Pokemon. I
walking,
love the brand.
you're a walking Pokemon billboard right now. You're promoting that brand for them.
I
So
want
when I
other people to enjoy it. Yeah.
right. So when I get a trailer and I'm reacting to the trailer and stuff, you don't stop me from reacting to the trailer. You should incentivize me. If anything, you should send me an email say, hey, look, I want you to do this more. I'll give you 5% revenue sharing or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't stop me from talking
Yeah.
about it.
We like when Bigger for Entertainment, this guy Onzo, he reviews From. He loves the show From.
Yeah,
When
from
I
is
see
that
the
good.
numbers this
From is
guy's
dope.
getting on just fans, an influential being who does, he's more credible than it would be if you paid a celebrity. I'm
Mhm.
going, oh, you know what? Maybe I can get one of the actors on the show to appear on his panel and
Right.
just like chit chat for a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. So the fan interaction, they haven't proven to me yet, and they just began, that they're willing to do the internet part of this fandom stuff better than some of our Marvel, DC, Star Wars. They're not doing better than them. They're not doing worse either. They're just doing nothing so far.
They need, yeah. See,
What do they need?
the thing is,
Iyanu, we're talking Iyanu. What does
yeah, yeah.
Iyanu need?
And I'm gonna wrap this up with Iyanu. Just let me land this plane.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit older than you, so I grew up on Saturday morning cartoons. So it was
I did
like
too.
force fit. Nah, you ain't grew up on the ones I grew up on. I mean, you was probably the ass end of Saturday morning cartoon. I'm talking about where, you know what I'm saying? This was religion. You know what I mean? Like Saturday morning cartoons was a religion. They need to go back to, they need to figure out what the modern version of that is. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to content like this, you know what I mean? Kids are fickle. You know what I'm saying? And this is a the ass end is right. Yeah. This is a more you know, I don't want to say childish or kiddie, but it's a, you know what I'm saying? It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Yeah. That's, you know what I'm saying?
It is childish. It's geared towards younger people.
And they need to figure out a way to get that younger person to like, there you go, bowl of cereal sitting in front of the, yeah, that's Saturday morning cartoons, right? Waking up early. I'm talking about as soon as that infomercial goes off and that cartoon come on, that was, you know what I'm saying? That was it.
It was always hard to get ready for school, but for some reason on the weekend, I had no problems waking up.
Right. I'm glad you said that. Even that, we had after school cartoons, like a block. You know what I'm saying? You come home, Power Rangers, X-Men.
You mean Beyblade Pokemon?
Nah, I'm talking before that. You could Beyblade. Maybe Pokemon might have slid in there, but nah, this was Power Rangers, X-Men,
Fairly Odd Parents, you know Jimmy Neutron.
Nah, I mean, those is, you know, I watched all of those, but what I'm talking about is, Animaniacs, Tailspin. They know what they getting into, but having that and making people want to show up. Yeah, Rescue Rangers is that joint.
On the rabbit ears. That's pretty old. Rescue Rangers.
Duck, man. Now, but they need to figure out a way to make kids want to show up to watch it. If it's gonna be on Cartoon Network, what are you doing to? My son used to love which one was it?
DuckTales,
Adventure Time, and it was the other one,
Paw Patrol.
Nah, he hated stuff like that.
But Adventure Time with Finn, I'm aware of who that is.
Yeah. Like, but it was, you know, they advertised it so well. He would sit in front of that TV. He knew when it came on. He knew when they were doing reruns, when they were just doing a marathon of what, you know what I'm saying? Like, they need to, and I don't know, maybe I haven't watched Cartoon Network in a minute. It's been a while, you know what I'm saying? But they got to figure that out. And if Iyanu can be a anchor block in the block of things, they do the Invincible Fight Girl, Iyanu, and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me an hour. Like, I remember I used to come home from work, man. Come home from work, turn on Cartoon Network, still smell like French fries and hamburgers, you know what I'm saying? Back when I was in high school, you know what I mean? And it'd be a block on it. It'd be like Dexter's Laboratory,
Codename Kids Next Door, Johnny Bravo.
You know what I'm saying? Ed. Nah, that was Nickelodeon. Ed and Eddie, wasn't it?
I know
might have been switching between the two, but I'm just saying it was like a block, and I knew at this time they were gonna be on. You know what I mean? But they just got to figure that out.
Can it fit with an avatar aside from the Nickelodeon Cartoon Network part? Yeah, it feels like it, because the way you looked over to the side. What do you want to say?
Oh, no.
The way it began, the show starts episode 1. Before we even see a character, it says, long ago, 500 years ago, there was the Divine War, and this happened. There was a corruption that came, and I'm like, good. This is Avatar-esque. This is a lived-in world where there's a reason, there's a prophecy that exists about the Chosen.
Yeah, I'm listening. My bad. I'm just looking at that comment.
the Chosen, there's images on like scripture, like sculpted on, what do you call, hieroglyphics, maybe is the right word? They've got that. And it does look like our main character. I don't think they're going to swerve us, and it won't be Iyanu, who's actually another girl with a puffy hair. That's Iyanu.
No, it's Iyanu. It's her. She's the Chosen.
She's the Chosen. And so we know she's special from the beginning. We jump to her, and she's so regular. The character work they did by first showing to us that she was going to not shoot at the deer or the animal.
Right.
The character she is like, she's soft, right? She's learning, so she's still not a fully there's character.
I wouldn't say she's soft. I say she's aware. I don't think she's soft. She's aware.
She's capable of fighting.
Yeah, she's a very capable. What I mean by I don't think she's reason I use the word aware is because she knows that with her actions come with consequences. That's what I mean by she's aware, especially at that young age. You know what I'm saying? Like you going back to the whole deer situation, like she could have easily went ahead and you know what I'm saying got that deer, regardless if it was a doe right there. She could have got that deer, but she said, "Nah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
she's
let
on the
you. Yeah, you grow up. I'll come back and get you later." Basically.
forest girl. She has a 10-foot jump, like she has a vertical which defies all logic.
Yeah.
So much of the show is realistic, but then I see something like that, and I'm like, it's so unnecessarily, it's not needed. The fact that she can really jump high and like she's on a tree branch all of a sudden.
I think it's to show not that she's the chosen, but that she's trained,
But
and
that's
that
not humanly possible.
she's a forest guy. Look, man, it's people over in the South Pacific who can basically breathe underwater. This ain't no bullshit. Like they live on the water, not on an island, but they actually live on the water,
And their
and they can hold their
webbing.
breath for like.
I know I've seen things
So,
about it, and the webbing on their fingers is
yeah,
better for
stuff
swimming.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say it's not human. Being trained up and having genetic changes throughout evolutionary years, I can't say that.
Don't even, man.
I can't say that. I cannot say that. So I get where you're coming from, but she is supposed to be highly capable and highly trained. That's what she is.
So others in the world can do this too?
I'm pretty sure sooner or later we might come across somebody who is just as capable.
But that is the problem, though. That's what I'm saying. Like the physics in this world are normal world physics, right? Aside from the blue lights and everything, it should be normal physics.
You sound like me when I was critiquing Captain America: Brave New World. Like, I feel you. But with her being, she already has the chosen, being the chosen one on top of her. So that's already a narrative writing shield that she got, right? But excluding that, she is how old was she? Then I thought they said her age on like episode 2 or something like that.
She's younger than 15, older than 10.
Yeah. So she's this young, hella athletic, you know what I'm saying? Probably stronger than your average person. You got to think, you talking about the jump. She fell off that tree. You know what I mean? And kind of just was back at it like nothing happened, just shook that off. So I think it's supposed to show that she's the chosen one. It's supposed to be that she can, do these things. And I'm pretty sure she will come across somebody else
that can do that.
That can probably do that. That is not the chosen one.
I think Toye's dad, I think his name was Kafun, the guy who's in charge of the Eshu of the Warriors. That guy probably is the one who I would expect the next person to show us a feat that's just like crazy big. How you feel about Toye and his dad? First with Toye, little kid getting bullied, social outcast. There's dude with 3 friends. I think his name was Oba. No,
Oba was the
Abby.
I thought that was he was the son of the Oba.
Yeah, he's the son of the Oba, and his name is Abby. So I think the bully. We'll go the bully. Yeah. I'll learn the names. But that is worth criticizing. If this is being marketed to the biggest audience possible, name your lead character Iyanu, absolutely. But at some point, some of these names are so impossible, like
to keep up and remember.
Just because I never heard of the names,
saying the the wrong name for I get what you're saying, but I like that it's culturally pushing that narrative. You know what I'm saying? That Igbo, Nigerian, stuff like that. I do like that.
Yoruba.
Yeah, Yoruba. We haven't gotten to the gods yet. I want to see if they're going to introduce any of the Yoruba pantheon in this. I think that'd be a dope situation if they did that. But wow, what you got to say? No, you wouldn't want that.
No, I was gonna bring it back to Toye and the dad.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm finna get back there. As far as that relationship, I think that's I think that's dope because we are getting some character building. Because one of my big things was I haven't, out of these 3 episodes, I haven't been attached to anybody yet. Even with Iyanu, I'm not attached to her.
Of
You know what
course.
I'm saying? Like,
not yet.
And I'm trying to figure out, okay, who would I want to be attached to that's not the main character? You see what I'm saying? Her, I think she called it her auntie, the one who was training her.
Olori.
Yeah, I kind of like what she has going on. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, B's, that was his name, B?
Biggie?
The one who was trying to steal the
Yeah.
in the 3rd episode.
He's Biggie.
Biggie. That was his mom's, right?
Wait, his?
Was that his mom? And outside the last wall.
It wasn't the mom. It was like the matriarch of that community in the Riverland settlement.
With had the one braid that was like a.
So she's like the queen, the matriarch.
Okay.
There's a word for it in the comic book, and it's called the Riverland settlement. That's where they live outside the walls. Were they mother and I don't know. I don't know what BE's relationship was with her though.
Okay, I'm liking their story, like them being wise and having that wisdom and passing it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking that. That's what I'm really into.
Between BE and Toye, which one do you like the best?
Neither one. I think they're both. Yeah, I think they're both. They both get on my nerves. I would like to see. Well, we're probably gonna see that. I think Toye is gonna end up breaking and turning heel. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
That'd be an interesting twist.
To prove a point to his dad that I am him. It might not be his nature to be heel, but you know how they sometimes do that with a character. It's like I'm really trying to prove a point to my dad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I think then the story shifts to the dad figures out what we're doing is wrong. And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because the villain in the show is the dad's boss. It's the king, the Oba, the leader. He just took over. And mysteriously, it means that the previous king met his demise prematurely. Okay. We know he had something to do with it. It's the way that they paint it. So the dad being that strongest, the Eshu's leader, and he got the warriors behind him, they all follow him, and his tough love tactics of treating, raising his boy, that dad is going to be critical. He will have a moment where we're going to have to decide, yo, are you good? Are you bad? That's coming no matter what.
And I think that's going to be the crux of the show, probably the crux of this season.
Yes.
That's what, and you know what I'm saying? It'll probably end on that cliffhanger, or it might get resolved. I don't know. It might get resolved. But my question to you is, and I guess this is where I get lost. Why is the chosen one being chased? Because when she shows up and she crawls through the hole and she shoots the was that like a hyena? What was that? When a cat?
Cheetah.
Was that a cheetah? It was a cheetah. When she shoots the cheetah and saves, his son, halt, stop, and then you know what I'm saying, they go find her. Like what? Why? Like what is going? You know what I mean? That was never. Maybe I missed it, but I have not seen an explanation for why she is now wanted, or what she always wanted, and maybe that was just always implied.
No. Okay. Interesting thing is, like, when Toye, let's jump to episode 3. I know you're talking about 1, but episode 3, Toye is reading those fables, and his dad says, "But that's the thing, none of it's real. You know, this little make-believe world that's in these books. I prefer the one in the books than the one outside, but that's not real. None of it's real. All these tales are wrong." So, how could he see it live in living color with Iyanu, and then 2 episodes later, it's he's denying it. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. So
he's broken, but that's the power that the king has over this guy.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, it's his loyalty, and he's just like so warped. The action after that with Ekun outside, we see a red spotted leopard, not a panther. Or I think I said leopard in one of my reactions. So the leopard got healed. amazing. She,
Right.
you know, and it was a good way to end the first episode. When it finally gets healed, after all of the fighting it did like a beam. It was like crouching left and right. It was
Yeah.
well animated, and absolutely zero issues, no frame rate drops, no blurriness, no cheap tricks. We saw a leopard chasing a girl and just blasting her. She heals it, and we went, "Oh, this is cool." That was very much like Avatar, where
Yeah.
he gets into the ice and you see all this swirly around him and Appa. Very Avatar. So when that happens, it turned back evil. I thought she healed it, but
Yeah.
she just wasn't powerful enough. Awesome feat of strength, but there's work to be done here. This is not a complete character. She still has to learn how she can control it, which we'll see in episode 3. Remember in episode 3 where she was putting her hand on a tree and a little flower?
And the flower, yeah.
Yeah, one little bloom. Yeah, there's levels. She's not there completely. So that's
Well,
why the Ekun didn't heal completely.
so she is what she has 3 tiers to her power. What it is, unnatural, natural, and supernatural. Or was it
That
unnatural,
sounds right.
natural? It's supernatural, right?
I believe so.
So I wonder. I guess that is kind of very Avatar as too. You know, with the Avatars using the elements, and she's using. She probably uses the elements too, but they just explaining it in a different manner. You know what I'm saying? With natural, unnatural, supernatural. Because we're dealing with possession, which would that be? I guess is that the unnatural part, or is that the supernatural part?
I'll figure out. Just like the names, they'll keep saying
You know
it
what I'm
and then
saying?
it'll
Yeah.
come normal.
Or I wonder if unnatural is like technology because it's unnatural. Then you get natural, which is like nature and stuff like that, and then supernatural is the possession part.
We got to watch the 3rd episode back because she was explaining it to us, the mother outside the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool explanation. Graphics also, when they did that, they didn't just have a person talking with their lips. It was they just cut and they showed us images of what it looks like to get these vines growing out of the ground.
Yeah,
all the other feats.
Invincible fight. I just wanted to. That's the Invincible Fight Girl. That's I think you should check it out, man. It's pretty cool. I know we're talking to Iyanu, but I just wanted to. I think them 2 back to back in a block would be dope. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be dope.
With a brand new episode, huh? How many episodes is this season going to be? Do we know that?
This Invincible Fight Girl had. I'm gonna base it off of that. I want to say it had 10. I want to say so, probably around that.
Okay,
probably get 10 episodes.
And if the show does well, it will be able to be aired in all the places that it's not airing. Maybe Japan wants a little piece of this, and they're not airing it. Canada, Australia, I know UK have it, and America has it too.
Yeah, I think they underestimate Black females. And you know what I'm saying, in this space.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and I don't mean like physically Black females coming to watch the show. I'm talking about the actual show being a Black female lead. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of shows. If I take it back to Olivia Pope, right? I don't know. Did you watch that Scandal?
I know. I saw episode 1. I didn't really see the whole thing though.
Okay, so Scandal was a huge thing, huge pop culture phenomenon. You know what I'm saying?
Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes. You know, Black female led. I want to say that Bridgerton is kind of Black female led. Isn't the queen? The queen on there is Black, and I want to say she's the lead in that series. And I could be wrong, but that's also Shonda Rhimes. Like, I would really push stuff like this heavy. You know what I'm saying? I would really push it heavy because I think people will watch it. Yeah. I think majority of people will watch it. I really do. Kids, especially kids. If you're pushing it to kids, I watched some of the weird. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I didn't care what the color. We watched this. The Simpsons was yellow. You know what I'm saying? The Smurfs was blue. Like we didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like.
No, we didn't care, but at the same time, it was programming us because the majority of what we saw had that light skin pigmentation.
I'm just talking about as far as unreal. You know what I'm saying? If I can watch the Smurfs, if I can watch,
then you can watch a Black girl named Iyanu. Yes,
yeah, that's all I'm saying. If I can watch damn Gummy Bears, I used to love Gummy Bears. If I can watch Gummy Bears, I can watch a Black led cartoon. You know what I'm
Yes, it
saying?
shouldn't be the obstacle that it is until we learn these behaviors and we go, we not we, but as a
Mm.
population collectively, for some reason it just makes a little bit less money.
Yeah, yeah.
Scandal, I didn't watch it. I remember hooking my late mother up with Netflix and Hulu, and she would watch stuff like Scandal. What's Fraggle Rock?
What? Oh man, Fraggle Rock. You familiar with Jim Henson?
Sorry, I don't know that one either.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to put you on. Fraggle Rock, man, was an '80s phenomenon. Man, it's Muppets. It's Muppets. But it's it was a thing of the '80s,
For
man. We
kids.
loved Muppets in the '80s. Kids, yeah.
He said, "Oh hell no."
80s, we love Muppets, man. Jim Henson was the man. Fraggle Rock, the Muppets, the actual Muppets themselves, Muppet Babies. You know what I'm saying? We just love Muppets, and Jim Henson was the what's Dark Crystal. You heard of Dark Crystal? You ever seen Labyrinth?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to put you on some stuff. I'm gonna have to send you some stuff so you go. Labyrinth might be free on YouTube.
Can we talk about what I have seen here with
Yeah, my
Iyanu?
bad, man. Back to Iyanu.
Back to Iyanu. We do cut over to the politician side, okay?
Right.
The foreign minister, the guy who wears green all the time. His name might be Oya. What's Bowie?
David Bowie, man. Don't worry about it. Talk about
I know who
Iyanu.
that
Talk
is.
about Iyanu.
So we got this guy who's a good guy, and he's in the halls, and every time he says something, he tells the king off, or he explains why this policy is broken. They go, "Ah, man, it's only because of your family. That's the only reason you got here. Your legacy grandfathered in, basically." Okay, so that character is someone I like, and I want the foreign minister to continue, and then one day become the guy who's actually in charge. If Iyanu doesn't get it, give it to him.
Maybe we get what they could flesh that out, but I would. I hate to keep trying to, because I don't want to parallel it to Avatar, because that's what a lot of people are going to do. I want this to be its own thing. You know what I'm saying?
They like it. There was a Screen Rant article earlier today that called it Avatar and meets Black Panther, and Iyanu's account said, "Thank you, Screen Rant." They like this comparison.
No, I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, there's nothing wrong because Avatar. I mean, when Avatar came out, what is it? About 15 years old now?
Yeah,
might be older than that.
I think they celebrated their 20 years. It's
20 years, yeah. So, and it's still being talked about. They did a spinoff. So you would want, no, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I just want it to be able, I want whatever the next thing, they compare it to Iyanu. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Or right up there with Avatar and all these other things, stuff like that. So,
okay.
But no, that would be a dope story. I think it's a lot of threads that they can pull on. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to see what foot's gonna drop. Like I said, I still want to know why she's wanted as the chosen one. Is the chosen one bad, or if because we're in this walled up area, right? They really, I need more explanation for that. I know they did it a little bit and gave us some exposition in the first episode, but I need a little bit more fleshing out. Is because we got the forest, that's all the way on the inside. Then,
yeah, there's one more wall that contains forest, and it's still part of Elu, but it doesn't feel like it's the city of Elu.
Right. So I just want to see more of that. Maybe meet more people. Like I said, because the sidekicks now, they just haven't caught on with me yet.
Biggie and Toye.
Yeah, they just ain't that's who I'm looking at is probably going to be her sidekicks.
I said something, and I can combine this. I said that when in the future we can have the foreign minister finally get the upgrade and he'll be the king. Okay. I'm saying that as if time is going to pass. Right. And with the little romance that is set up with Biggie and Iyanu, time will pass. They will be older, and we'll get to that kiss scene at the end of the season, like Avatar, which Aang had with Katara.
Right.
They're building to it, and I really, really, really want the characters to age. That's something that's added to some shows. Rarely. Clone Wars did it. Clone Wars and Bad Batch did it, where like beginning to the end, maybe 5 years have passed. That's what they got to do with Iyanu also. Get her older, make sure the world advances. Something you can do, which the whack ass publishing company that does Marvel, they don't do. The characters are stagnant. It's been 50 years. Well, 50 years ago, Storm looked just like this. She hasn't aged.
No, I don't need to see. I hear you. Cartoons is different because I know they're gonna end at some point in time. Comics don't end, so that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I want, if I'm the publisher, whether it's Marvel, DC, whoever, I want Storm to age
1 year every 4 years.
not even that.
1 year every 10 years.
Nope. I want them because
Okay.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reboot the story and then just have, think about it. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, when Captain America came out of the ice, he was only 30 years older than the Avengers, right? So what is
Because
he now?
World War II happened in the
Two.
60s, and that comic
Right.
came out in the 40s.
No, World War II happened in the 40s.
In the 40s, and that comic came out in the 60s.
60s, right. So how old is he now, older than the population? Is he still a World War II ice thaw person?
Yeah.
Right. So now he's,
but it's a sliding timeline though.
It is, but now
he was in the ice longer. If you ask me today, or if they're gonna say
Cap was in the ice longer.
Cap was in the ice for 70 years, and he just recently got out of the ice.
Cool.
Because we're in the
and
20s.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna age the characters. They're just gonna bring time to the characters. And to me, that works better than aging the character up. Because Storm has aged. We saw Storm when Storm first came in, since we're using Storm, she was young, walking around naked, being a nudist, you know what I'm saying? Now she's looked at as more regal, more of an elder statesman, even with Cyclops, you know what I'm saying? Like him, but we saw Cyclops go from a kid to grown. Like we've seen some people grow in comics if it's within reason, a good thing, but
only the ones who started in the 60s we've seen actually grow.
I mean, I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if that's the case, we need to age Peter Parker out.
He has aged. He's in his mid-20s. His first comic, he was 15.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, do we need to age? Because now, if we're aging, if we're going to do it, because at one point in time he was married, and we get the one shots or the different, I don't even want to call them universes, but they go into the future a lot, and we get the aging of that, like Old Man Logan, even with the Spider-Man series that came out last year, where he had the beard and he woke up in the future and he was trying to figure out what happened with Mary, MJ and all of that. But they don't need to me, in comics. It's easier to do it with the cartoon because I'm following the cartoon, and sooner or later the cartoon's going to end. Comics don't end.
Comics won't end.
No.
Fine. It's an understandable take to have.
Yeah.
And I can tell you another reason to grow them in the cartoon. The audience is growing.
That I agree with.
That 8-year-old girl, one day she's gonna be a 14-year-old girl, and if you have 6 seasons of this show, how are we gonna keep her like relating to her? Well, let's have Iyanu go through some of these, growing up,
these growing pains. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like a sitcom, right? Like watching Family Matters, watching as a kid, when you watch Family Matters, you identify with, might be Eddie, might be Laura, might be Urkel, who knows, you know what I'm saying? But as they grow, you're growing, you know what I'm saying? So the stuff that they're dealing with day to day and whatever that episode is, you might be dealing with it. So it allows you to, you know what I'm saying, connect with those characters. So I'm right there with you when it comes to having her grow and go through the growing pains and learning.
And when she does the kiss with Biggie, it won't be cringy.
Right. But he's cringy. So.
How you feel about the way that they animate the hands and how it's lighter on this palm and then it's darker on the other side of the hand?
I mean, I thought that was a normal thing.
No, they don't do it in animation. It's rare that it happens.
Oh, I guess I'm used to seeing, two-tone hands.
Your own hand? Yeah.
No, I'm in like, even in comic books and stuff, I'm used to seeing two-tone hands. Animation, I don't know. But normally, they wear gloves and stuff like that. So that could be one way that we're not used to seeing it. But I'm with you. I think that's dope.
The other dude in the throne room is the Chancellor, and he's wearing purple. He's got a hat on all the time.
Yeah.
In one of the episodes, he's like with some guards, and they said, "You can't go that far," and there was smoke all over the place. And he's like, "I know better," type. He has a relationship with the big main villain during the Divine Wars.
Yeah.
He's the one. He's the avatar. He's the
conduit.
I
mean, Avatar, conduit, same thing.
Yeah, he's definitely doing the bidding of the main villain who we're gonna see in the series finale that they fight.
I'm glad you brought that up. So, okay, now that lets me, that demon dude or whatever he was, that eldritch god or whatever from that war or whatever, is he so he's the reason for the corruption? Is he also the reason why this king or these people are after the chosen one?
Yes,
because he keeps showing up in her mind too.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on, and he is the source of everything. He instokes fear. He's the one who he's behind it. He's the man behind the curtain. Okay. That doesn't make me go, oh, well, the king, he's just doing what he was forced to do. He was put in the situation. I still hate the king, and I still hate the chancellor.
Yeah, they might be on that side. It's like what is that? Do I want to say He-Man and Karnak?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think to where the villain, even, you know what I'm saying, like, nah, you still rock with the evil. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are evil. So, yeah, I'm with it.
Jumping.
Honestly, the show is better than I gave it credit for when you know what I'm saying? Because I watched it again. You know what I'm saying? And it's better than I gave it credit for on my first initial watch. So,
one thing they did was they gave us flashbacks, not flashbacks. Previously, you know.
Yeah.
When X-Men, me and you have talked about this, about the value of the flashbacks, but it was when we were arguing about the Storm comic book. I think it's necessary. I like that it happens. A previously usually reminds you of something that is important and a plot point that may be built on during this episode. So that's why we're going to show you this. We only got 30 seconds to tell you what happened previously, but pay attention. So points for that. And it fills TV time also. It's just helpful. So we got to give it that love.
The first cartoon to do that was X-Men.
First ever?
Yep. Whew. First cartoon to do that was X-Men. No other cartoon was doing that previously on X-Men. That was its claim to fame.
So then why do the people call it a cross between Avatar and Black Panther? It's a cross between Avatar and X-Men. There's nothing Black Panther here. There's nothing. There's no heart-shaped herb. There's no vibranium. Yeah. It's just, they sound like they sound in Black Panther.
See, that's what I'm waiting, because there is no other superhero. Even with Avatar, you had other benders, right? Here, we don't have no other anything. It's just her. Yeah. Other than the corrupted animals. You know what I'm saying?
Well, those are some special corrupted animals because they can shoot at you from their mouth.
Yeah. But I'm saying on a basis of, normally you have a hero and then you have a villain equivalent. You know what I mean? We don't have that. Like, there was He-Man, there was Skeletor. You know what I'm saying? There was Lino, there was Mumra. We don't have none of that. Duke and Cobra Commander. We ain't got none of that here. And that's what I'm waiting. That's the shoe that I'm waiting for to drop.
We don't have a Duke either. We don't have a He-Man either. Iyanu's still in the beginning phase.
True. Going back to Avatar, at least we had, like I said, it was other benders, and we knew, you know what I'm saying, that the I'm missing, my brain going a little too fast. The Fire Kingdom, who was the head of the Fire Kingdom?
Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah. We had that as a antagonist, and we know, I don't know, he might be able to, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker, the way
the only thing that with that sort of suspense is those snakes that are living within Elu. I don't know. There's a lot of snakes coming. They're gonna one day they're gonna attack. That's the threat. and the poor people who are living in Elu are going to be the first community that is struck by that, not the guys in the inner wall in
Right,
the palace.
but does the stakes of and not saying that those aren't valid stakes, but like I said,
No,
okay,
that's not
so
the same as Skeletor. No.
yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like you want to have that, and I don't know if the king is that yet. Even this little deity or this evil flashback king villain thing that they keep pushing, that ain't touched me yet to where I'm like, oh yeah, that's that dude there. If he show up, if
Yeah.
they break the seal and he shows up, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't happened yet. And I know we're only 3 episodes in. I know.
Give me your prediction on what episode we do see the snakes finally attack. I'm saying 4. Next time we're here on this live stream, it's gonna be the snakes attacking.
You think so?
4.
4? Nah, I don't think 4. I would say if we're doing a 10 episodes, I say 6 or 7.
Nah, bro. See, the Eshu are out. Their warriors are not there to protect them, even though the warriors weren't always protecting them anyways. Okay, cops. So this is the time where most of the poor people will be attacked, and the finance minister, the guy we like, he's gonna be like, you see, no, we got to change things around here. He'll have a point.
Reason I say that's too early, because okay, snakes attack, we get those, that village or that side of the fence is now incapacitated or taken over, or let's say possessed, whatever that the snakes do. Now we got, you said in 4, now we would have 6 episodes to rectify that. Normally in cartoons, it happens, you get an episode to where either it's some expose, and then the fight. So it's like a 3 episode run. So you go 4, 5, 6, and then after 6, what are you gonna do? You see what I'm saying? Because she would, if it happens in 4, they explain what happens, because they gotta have the bad guy at least have an episode to where, or the bad thing that happens have an episode to where it's bad for an episode, and then the hero comes in, saves the day. Then that will put us at episode 6. Now from episode 6, we got 4 more episodes. You see what I'm saying? That's why I think 6 would happen, and then it'll be 6, 7, 8, and from 8 we'll roll right into that seal being broken with the big bad hopefully showing up. Cliffhanger, new season.
And please don't make me wait 2 years for the new season. Have some confidence, bro. I didn't see anything about a new season being announced. So, and I would hate for this, not to get a second season.
I'm gonna say this, man. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. When they announced these 2 seasons, because I'd be like, oh, they're announcing it like it's like we didn't know, or they're announcing it like it did so good that it got 2 seasons. Sometimes they negotiate, oh, we're doing 2 seasons already. You see what I'm saying?
I don't see how an independent comic book has that negotiating power. I don't see that.
No, I don't know. I mean, Cartoon Network could just be looking, and not saying that this comic isn't hitting every benchmark that it's supposed to hit. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know.
Independently, I don't know, but Cartoon Network also could just be looking for content. You see what I'm saying? And
it's cheap. You're producing with a guy from Nigeria. That probably is going to be tariffs, though. You never know about the tariffs. I don't know.
I mean, he could be. I don't know. But I think it'll do well. Like Nigeria, I said, I don't know what time does it come on Cartoon Network?
9:30, I think. And by the way, Nigeria's GDP, they're on the way up, so I shouldn't talk about them that way. But probably better than American.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But now I don't know if 9:30 is prime. You know what I'm saying? The best time.
It's not prime. The best would be somewhere like 11.
No, I would go, because I mean, what do you think this demographic is age wise for this show?
Aside from the grown-ups who just want to see representation, it is a kid show, and the kids would be 10 or older. Preteen,
12, 13, 10, 11, 12, 13.
It's not that mature yet. No, she was putting on that powder to make herself not smell bad. This smells terrible. Oh, I guess I got to put it on. That's very younger than preteen.
Yeah. But King's Portal say port call says young adult. I don't know if this is young adult. I really don't.
Oh, YA. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if this is young adult. I think it can get there, and that's what I'm saying. Like that time slot. When you say 11, you meant 11 a.m. or
AM 9:30 a.m. is
oh,
when
okay. Oh, okay.
Saturday morning. It
Yeah.
airs in the morning times.
Oh, it does air in the morning time.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying that it's 9:30 and
Yeah, when we're talking about Saturday morning cartoon, it really is on Cartoon Network on Saturday
okay, well
morning.
that's good. No, that's good then. That's maybe a little later. Kids don't like they don't get up the way I was getting up to. So maybe 10:30, 11 might be better. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. If you're saying 11 a.m., then yeah, I think that might be better. Bring back Teen Titans with this. Kids love Teen Titans. Bring back Teen Titans and
But that's the thing. They've seen every episode of it. How are you going to
make some new ones? Shit, the rerun. They watch the reruns.
Yeah, they'll watch a rerun. I was a kid too, and I would watch a rerun. But I don't watch all the time. If I've seen an episode 3 times already, I'm good. I'll watch a rerun. If I enjoy a rerun.
Start from the top, man. Yeah. Start from the beginning. Run it all over. Look, the crazy thing is.
Ready, Marcus?
Huh? Is Marcus in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what up, y'all?
Hey. What up? The crazy thing, back during my day, I keep bringing up my day, Saturday morning cartoons was all reruns.
Oh, that's a big fact. That was the best part of Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, it was all reruns. Nothing new showed up until probably about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Nobody fooled you by stretching 2 seasons of content into, a million weekends and convincing you that they had a million episodes like Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, it was all reruns, man.
All like, think about it. You had, at least my version of Saturday morning cartoons, you had stuff like Static, obviously. You had that Jackie Chan joint. You had
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon. You had Ninja Turtles, X-Men to a certain degree, Spider-Man.
And let me pause because X-Men. This is how bad it was with X-Men on Fox. X-Men for like a year and a half didn't play no new episodes because they had switched animation studios or something like that. They was having a bit, so they was playing reruns, and then they put a season before the season that they were supposed to put. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But Power Rangers the same way, reruns. Like you didn't get a new Power Ranger for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like that
was my point of naming all them joints because most of those shows only have maybe 2 seasons as it is.
Not Power Rangers.
Not Power Rangers.
Thundercats was 1 season. He-Man only has 2 seasons.
Shout out to Thundercats, man.
Yeah.
We were talking about the time to wake up and when's premiere prime time to have a kid watching a Saturday morning cartoon. Iyanu airs at 9:30. Where would you want it? 9:30 is pretty good, but
so okay, and I'm kind of putting myself in the mindset of my son because me on a Saturday morning, I don't even want to see the outside of my eyes before 10 o'clock.
Okay,
but how my children operate is that when the rooster crows, they up moving around.
Oh, that's good though. That's a good thing. My kids is the opposite of that.
I wish I ain't gonna say I'll trade them, but I'll trade their habits.
No, we're not saying that.
I'll trade their habits for sure because man, ass crack of dawn up making noise, ready to go downstairs. So that for my kids, that's a perfect time to air a television show because they're up ready to watch it.
You think it's age appropriate? Without giving away too much information about your kids, let me just ask you this way: what's the appropriate age for Iyanu?
I would say anywhere from 8, 9.
Yes. Okay. I said 10
to 18-ish.
To 18.
You think that high?
I think so because it has an Avatar feel to it. It's too early to say how adult the themes are going to be, and so I'll kind of reserve my opinion on that side of it. But if it's anything like Avatar had huge adult appeal. And it was because of some of the real world arcs they were working with, right? And so if that's where Iyanu goes, ultimately, I think they have a chance to draw in a more adult audience. They're just going to have to expand the subject matter a little bit.
I don't think we could. I think we're going to stay in the fantastical. To me, Avatar wasn't as fantastical as what we're getting with Iyanu.
I just don't think with the Iyanu, the powers and what they're doing and all of that stuff, it's more magic based than
Yeah,
obviously
airbending
the
and all that.
elements. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that in that way it feels a little bit more grounded. Now, what they doing ain't no more practical than what's happening in the Yanu. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You still got Aang flying around perfectly on a glider where he should be constantly falling down towards the ground. This man flying like Superman. It's just it's little stuff like that that you kind of got to let go, I guess, when you watching cartoons. But I do think that they have a chance. Even in some of the early episodes, the first 3, some of the conversations with the general and his son, they're giving you, I think, a little bit of what could be in terms of internal conflict,
Yeah.
questioning authority, what I'm saying, what duty versus your morals, right? They're giving you a little bit of it. They just haven't turned that meter up yet. So I'm interested to see how it goes.
I think he's gonna be the heel turn. He's the Zuko.
Okay. Okay.
With the fatherhood that's happening there, it's terrible. I don't like what's going on with Toye and his dad, the Eshu guy, the Kefron. I'll get the names, but the guy who's Toye's dad, he's a terrible parent. Oh, we're gonna toughen you up. Come over here and join our mission. We're gonna go chase for Iyanu.
I'm on the opposite end of that.
I think he's just doing what he thinks he needs to do as a father. He's not the nurturer. He lost his nurturer, right? He lost his mom. He lost his wife. So there's obviously something missing from the dynamic. I just think he's doing what he thinks is best.
Yeah, I don't think tough love is bad. But I hate when we shouldn't have to toughen up. Yeah, the world hates people, man. Like the world is nasty out here. Toughen your kid up. Let your kid know that as soon as you step out the threshold of this door, and I'm not there to protect you, ain't nobody out there gonna protect you.
Yes, real.
But tell him why he's wrong when he does something wrong. When the Oba's son came over, hey, give me 5. You really helped with that cheetah, let's be friends. And then he knocked all those fruit out of his hand. What can you say to your son? You can't be honorable. You're the picture of honor. That's why you do all this low down stuff. Are you going to not treat the Oba's own son, Abby, with respect? He's actually following you. Tell me why it's different. Tell me why. Oh, great Eshu warrior. Tell me why what I did as your son, where I was like respecting the authority, and I did give my hand out and they tossed my fruit onto the ground. Tell me why that was wrong to respect the authority. You can't. That's what you do every day.
He should have got up and defended himself.
Defending himself would have been hitting the king's son.
No, but that boy doesn't hold any official title. He would have been able to explain that off as boys being boys. The fact that he didn't even take up for himself is what his father had disdain for. Now, did he handle it perfectly? He probably could have communicated it after a little bit better instead of just looking at him in disgust. But the point still stands. Steel yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to harden yourself, or else people are going to walk over you, and that's very evident. That's what's going on with him now. He doesn't have a taste for violence, but not having a taste for violence and not being willing to go through with violence is two different things.
But that doesn't defend taking him outside that third wall, because that's where he is right now.
He's trying to culture shock him.
Yeah, he's trying to
make him against his better nature kind of jump full in. It's like throwing your kid in the pool.
Into the pool. Sink or swim, baby. Sink or swim. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. And this gives the opportunity for the dad to actually see what his son is about. Okay. Yeah. Now I know my son is he bitch made. I ain't nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? Like it works it's for both people. You know what I'm saying? It's for both, because as a father, you want your son to be, especially if coming from him being the general and this, that, and the third, and I would want my son to be able to follow my footsteps. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I'm gonna have big shoes to fill. Now, does the general understand that you got these size 13, 14s on, and your son is still in, you know what I'm saying, wearing some kiddie shoes? Right. Does he understand that dynamic? Probably not. But most fathers don't. Most fathers is like, when I was 5, they'll say shit like that. When I was 5, you know what I'm saying? I was chopping down trees and carrying the lumber back through the snow. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have those stories like that. fathers are delusional, man. We delusional. We want us. We want our.
And you know what? We don't think our sons can do anything.
Yeah, we don't.
I think my my dad think that about me. I think that about my son. You spend all your time teaching and giving everything you can, pouring in, and then for some reason, when it get time for them to prove it, the knee jerk reaction is hold on,
wait, hold on. Yep.
So like, I think exactly it's a father thing. I think there's something from the dynamic that's missing. It's his mother.
Yeah, the mother.
It's a nurturer. It's somebody.
They can't even talk about the mother. He tried to bring up the mom on episode 3. And
well, obviously, for okay, so you're an adult. You done lived your whole life with this woman. Y'all married. You created another life. Obviously, it's gonna be harder for me to speak about him than my child, who might have only spent a few years with her. You know, it's tougher for him to, especially a guy in his position. He's not very often vulnerable or seen to be vulnerable.
That's another thing too. He has to be, you know, to be the protector that he has. He has to know vulnerability. I can't cry out here on this battlefield when the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. I can't. My head got to be on a swivel 100%. I got to do things. It's some things that I've done that I can't tell you I've done, son. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. And yes, I do have a daughter. I have a daughter and a son. You know,
I'm about the same. I'm a girl dad as well.
So yeah, but yes, we are delusional when it comes to our kids.
Your son,
how we treat our daughters as a father. How you treat your daughter? You know what I'm saying? You prepare them for the world, but you treating them like, oh, come here, baby girl. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't the best thing for a girl to, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you're doing the opposite. You're doing the opposite for your son that you do for your daughter, which is weird. But it is what it is.
So, Biggie meets with Iyanu. Their first interaction is not a friendly one, but they don't physically fight either.
Mm-hmm.
Great. It's an issue of trust that they go through, which is a conflict between two characters, but never do they hurt each other. In fact, they take each other out of harm's way. So even when you disagree with someone, you are still human with them, and you're still like respecting boundaries. You're saving each other. You're valuing each other's life. That's great. That's a good way to show conflict without encouraging violence against women or men, or domestic, I should say. I like it. I'm a fan of that. Chill bringing it back. What does he mean?
Meaning you getting us back to talking about the show.
No, you guys were talking about the mother and everything. We never left. We're like on episode 3 right now. What's the highlight of your episode 3 then? Going Marcus first.
Probably the reveal scene when she actually is showing her powers, when she's sending the guards at her. I thought that the ploy by, what was her name? Mama something. Mama
Makusa.
Whatever the leader's name is, the lady.
I'll find it.
When it gets down to it, we really need to know whether or not I'm talking to who I'm talking to. So you gonna quit bullshitting, or we gonna kick you up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do? You want to tell the truth, or you want to get up out of here? I done walked you all around our place. I done talked to you nice. I done tried to appeal to your better nature. Now it's sink or swim. Come on. That was my favorite scene. And then she kicked their ass, so it was pretty good.
Mama Siwa, matriarch of the Riverlands. Yeah, I'm with Marcus on that. I think that's like I said, to me, this whole thing is about sinking or swim. It's all about
but in a controlled environment. Guard sees her, okay, and then she starts fighting them in a circle. We know nothing's gonna get too far. The weapons that they're using are, I think he had something was around his fist, right? It was like bandaged up, so it was a boxing glove. I can't hurt you too hard. That's fine.
No, that's the actual what is it called? It starts with a D. Dende. That's what they do in Nigeria. Weapon. Yeah, they wrap their hands and they wow. That's what it's an actual thing.
Oh, thanks for correcting me.
Yeah. I mean, think even with that, I could be wrong, but I think that's what it's called.
I don't think it boils down necessarily to that specific act, right? Where the guards are attacking her. I think it's more so a thing of her being away from, her mentor, her being out on her own. having to deal with these issues, even have to answer these questions to these people that she don't know in this land she ain't never been in all of these circumstances that probably got her all turned upside down. That's the sink or swim nature of it all.
Yeah.
Is that, are you going to be
She's out of her
who you
comfort
are?
zone.
You going to keep hiding? Yeah.
Right. Sooner or later, she's going to have to make a decision to quit running.
Yep.
That's what it's going to be. Sooner or later, she's going to have to put her foot in the ground, turn around, and say, you know what?
And fight them soldiers that's coming to track her down.
Issue 6 is the comic book where such fight happens. Okay, now, you guys tell me. I'll tell you. Actually, I'm not gonna. You might say something I don't agree with. I'll say it this way: manga, comics, being adapted into animation is always better, because I'm looking at this and I'm, shout out to the artist who drew these pictures, but I look at them and I go, oh, so what? Oh, look, she moved. Okay, hey, there's a backflip. She's capable of doing a backflip. But there's so much panels and so much kicky punchy. We go to a second page here where she's showing more feats, and it's so boring to me, and it's because it's not moving. When I finally get to see, let's go to the next page. Oh, no, wrong. There's still more fighting. There she's doing it hand to hand. Here she is ducking. I think I already saw her duck once. She sweeps for the leg. We see a kick to the face.
Nice art. That is some nice art.
It
that might not be your medium, Chill. I think because you have a lot of reservations when it comes to comics. Comic books might not be your medium. Animation might be your medium. You know what I'm saying?
Animation.
I followed that.
Yeah.
Read it, following those panels. All I saw was they were doing capoeira. You know what I'm saying? Like even if I could see the fighting style that they're fighting in through those panels. You might not be able to see it, but that's what I saw through the panels. You might need the animation to see the fighting style.
I need to see progression in the fight. And when all three of these dudes got back up, I'm going, so what? I'd rather look at the words. At this point, we're like 4 pages into the fight. I'm interested more in the words that people are saying.
They're not saying nothing.
They were here on this side.
Oh, okay.
And let's go to another page, and the fighting continues. More backflips. We already saw the backflip. Now, of course, Blue, it does look good. I'm like very well, You're just not. It's just a difference when I saw it happen during the TV show. I was like enjoying it more than I enjoyed looking at these pages. And by the way, it's accurate.
Seeing it move is always going to be better than.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. She looked 10 times stronger here.
In this,
in this panel
way
she
better
did
than
in the show.
Don't she? Yeah, this looks way better than the show.
I'm trying to get on it with you, and maybe it's just a preference thing. But like this shot right here, the scene, my favorite scene from episode 3 that I just explained. If she'd have looked like that, like one of the problems I'm having with where we're at right now, and I'm hoping that we do a little bit of a time jump at some point, is that too young. At least for me.
Young.
For me,
no, I'm with you.
She's too young. I would like a young adult, late teens, early 20s. Like that feels a little bit realer in terms of what she's doing. Right now, this feels like an 8-year-old's out there kicking ass, which is cool. That's the same thing. It was Aang, he was probably about 13, 14 by the time everything ended, but he started out as a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's okay. They're trying to mirror the show. I'm just hoping we get to a more adult, believable, imposing figure at some point while it's still hot,
Yeah, because those panels, if they could take, and one issue that I did have was the art style. It was so soft. It was so I don't want to use the word feminine, but it was just real soft. You know what I'm saying? And it just gave off childish. It gave off kiddie. Even Avatar didn't give off that. That animation style, the art style didn't give off kiddie, but you knew he was a kid in that. But it didn't give off kiddie. It was still kind of
animation by itself gives off kiddie no matter what.
I think when you change subject matter, that inherently changes tone. Yeah. And so we're not going to be paying attention to how goofy the cartoons look if somebody getting killed, if a nation's being attacked, if
Batman animated series didn't give off childish to me.
And that was because of the subject matter, not necessarily because of the cartoons. Yeah, so
it was the subject.
I think we got to give them a chance to kind of expand on what they're talking about a bit. I think the first 3 episodes is more like the pilot. So I want to see them get fully through the first season to see how far they did, right? How far they stray from the original Avatar story. I understand, this creator is a big fan, and that was an inspiration for them. But
okay,
I'm hoping that they stray a little bit.
Robert, I gave my friend's 7-year-old daughter my signed copy of the Iyanu graphic novel. She loves it and the animated show.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
I like how you both said that's dope.
Mhm.
What are you describing, Chill, is why people who love comics want to see comics on the big screen. We want to see it come to life.
Yep.
BTAS.
Batman animated series
was like young
YA,
adult.
but kid friendly.
Young adult, but kid friendly. Yep. Y'all about to make me watch Batman tonight.
Nah,
is there anything we want to leave on, or are we just going to jump straight to Batman tonight? I've covered all 3 episodes. I love the show, and I want the show to do well, and I want Rob's 7-year-old's friend daughter to continue watching it and enjoying it, and I want the characters to age also.
I got a question for Mark. So how would you present this better? Because I think they're doing a disservice in its presentation. How would you present this better? I said do a block. I showed Chill the Invincible Fight Girl. You ever heard of Invincible Fight Girl?
Yeah, that's my next one I got to pick up. I'm doing that one and Devil May Cry this weekend.
Yeah, I think Invincible Fight Girl and this as a block together would be dope. You know what I'm saying?
A back to back. Yeah, no. Yeah. So they've got some stuff cooking in their animation right now that they can lean on. The Toonami stuff on Saturdays is a winner. I think that's where they're doing all of their anime stuff. That's where Attack on Titan was still premiering their new episodes, was on Toonami. Toonami is a good place for them to try to expand on. I liked your idea about Saturday morning cartoons coming back with that, especially because of the tone that they're currently in. Right. Yeah. If we're going to market this towards young children, young adults specifically, then you got to get out of a prime time frame. I don't think give me the show again, Fight Girl.
Invincible Fight Girl.
Yeah. Invincible Fight Girl is necessarily gauged towards children, maybe young adults.
Yeah. It's a little bit more mature.
Yeah, it's a little bit more mature. Yeah. So I think the time slot matters a lot. I think late afternoons, right before dinner, that's a good spot. That 5, 6, 7 o'clock, that's a good time. I think early Saturday mornings is a good time, but it's got to be branded, like you said. I think Toonami does so well right now because it's nostalgia bait. It's nostalgia brand, and then they mix in new titles with it to keep it viable.
And
they
it's
that same thing.
Yeah, and Toonami itself is a brand. It's like Fox Kids. You know what I'm saying? Like they got or what was the one on WB or CW? What was it called?
Kids WB.
Was that what it was called?
WB Kids.
Yeah. Like you gotta brand the block. You know what I'm saying? You had I used to watch cartoon. What it was? The Train on USA. It was shit. Y'all probably don't remember that shit. But it was
cartoons on USA. I sure the hell don't.
Yeah, man. What?
I sure the hell don't.
Ninja Turtles, Mortal Kombat. It was, man. Hold on. See,
I have never seen a cartoon on USA. Not a day of it. It might have been Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. Is the only cartoon I've ever seen on USA.
What cartoon? It was called USA Cartoon Express.
That's crazy.
The traditional way of advertising or of putting a show on TV that exists, streamers exist too. If you can ask Kai Cenat, you want to do something for 30 minutes, you spend 8 hours on stream, you want something to do, let's take care of the streamers. You guys can react to it. We won't penalize you. You'll be able to monetize your reaction. Let's talk to BET because kids are our target audience. So is anyone who cares about representation. And if you can find a way to put this on that TV show or BT Plus, the streaming service, even maybe wait for it all to be said and done, go ahead, because you make money off of toy sales and you make money off of merch more than
Zeus instead of BET.
Okay, Zeus.
Yeah, let's do Zeus. Let's keep it black on.
Yeah, but Lemmy out here wilding. It is black on.
I know, but like the alternative is Viacom, and I don't want to have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I feel you.
Viacom is Paramount, yeah.
Yeah,
they own. So does Paramount own Viacom, or does Viacom own Paramount?
Now Paramount owns Viacom.
They own Viacom, which is
Paramount,
MTV, VH1, BET, and some other channels.
Yeah, Cartoon Network is a subsidiary of Warner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine? You know, I know there's a few people watching this live stream right now, but like, what if a 10-year-old just jumped on this live stream in the playback and they were like learning about Warner Brothers and all that stuff? They came for Iyanu. They become a lot smarter.
But I mean, that goes back to your point though, Chill. You have 10-year-old streamers, 12, 11, 12, 13-year-old streamers. Reach out to them. Yeah, come on, man. It's just we're not on that side of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't over there playing in that box. We're not on Twitch with the 10, 11, 12-year-old streamers.
Definitely not on Twitch.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. Reach over there, go across and holler at one of these kids who is big on Twitch and streams and games and you know what I'm saying, and give them the bag and the promotional, or the juice to do, you know what I'm saying, to advertise and talk about this every day of the week or whatever. You know what I mean? Like we talked about with Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them have their own little show at the end. Whether stream about the show after the show goes off. Hey, y'all go watch such and such on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Just like we talked about these damn trailers that we can't fucking react to without getting a fucking strike. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
That's the dumbest shit in the world. You want your shit to go,
then brag about the views on the app that you don't want people sharing the content on.
It's just dumb.
It's crazy.
Like, I didn't know you was trying to make money off an ad, I guess. I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't.
Not worth it. The benefits you'll get because you're not putting ads on it, and the money you'll make because of that, because there's more generated interest, will help you in the long term.
Well, yeah, that's the normal math. The game that they playing though, they acting like they breaking in the ad dollars, like they taxing YouTube. They trying to get their YouTube check off.
No, you put your first episode for free on YouTube. That's what you do.
Yeah. Or have open up a portal to where streamers can go and apply to you to get the user generated, to say, hey, I want to do user generated.
I love that idea.
Makes too much sense.
Yeah, right.
And then you can approve of who you want associated to your brand.
Right.
Does this guy drop the F-bomb too often? Well, he's not going to be certified, but someone else does.
Yeah, they won't do that though, because when there's an official process, that means there's a paper trail, and you can't successfully ostracize people and kick them out for not supporting you or being too loud with the criticism. So can't be nefarious when there's an actual process.
Well, we thank you all for joining us, everyone who watched it live, and more people who are going to watch it on the playback. I think this is one of those videos that we're going to be getting views on 3 years, 4 years down the line, because not everyone's talking about Iyanu. It's got a very little digital imprint or social media presence. And I'm one of the few people, I think, all three of us are one of the few people on this platform covering it. Marcus, you're going to probably be bringing up on your Sunday stream with the W's and the L's with the behind the cape over there with Josh. Everyone go check out his channel, Back of the Bus. Let me put that word up there. Boom. Marcus from Back of the Bus. And Blues House is the name of your channel. I didn't even need a name tag because he's got it on his hat.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just trying to keep people up, do different topics and stuff, man. I don't want to get myself away from comics and movies, but
it feels like the movies are trying to get away from us.
Away from us, right?
Right. I brought up this who is this? Black, what's the name of this dude? Either way, he talks about Cartoon Express. Y'all done seen this dude before. I can't remember his name. What? Oh, you talking about it? Share my screen real quick. Just I want to give y'all some cartoon.
Oh yeah, I know dude.
Theme song. It's another thing to be a block of cartoon shows, and that block has a great theme song. All aboard the Cartoon Express, the USA Cartoon Express, traveling east and heading west. Oh man, I used to love the Cartoon Express, man. Oh, your engineer. It's time for cartoons right now, right here.
This was like the early version of cartoons.
The famous cartoon stars are riding back. Strap on board for the daily run and the most cartoony kind of fun.
I'm surprised he didn't know the damn thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, dog. I was still swimming at this
Express. Not to mention that intro is the greatest cartoon crossover.
I don't even know if you were swimming, dog.
Scooby-Doo, or Slimer, Ninja Turtles, or real Ghostbusters. Now, there have been different iterations of the USA Cartoon Express, but if you see that train, you knew that
G.I. Joe, Smurfs, Ghostbusters.
I mean, it was a nice block. I could take it.
Yeah, it was some.
I could watch that.
Some hitters, man. Yeah. Then it just started graduating other stuff. It was Cartoon Express. Where was it? Double Dragon. I think Street Fighter was on there.
A channel that truly aged with their audience, because now they just show reruns of old sitcoms and old crime thrillers and stuff like that.
No, USA was the USA was was that cable network that pushed it, because it did that, but then it had like NYPD. Was it NYPD Blue?
They had Law and Order. They did Law and Order and SVU a lot, and then they did.
I'm talking about before Law and Order.
Before Law and Order, okay.
Yeah, but this was pre
La Femme Nikita.
Yep, USA Up All Night. Like they did. USA Up All Night was damn near. It played a whole bunch of old movies, karate movies, just B movies, D movies, and it was like some of the best shit in the world. You know what I'm saying?
You can always count on USA for a good movie now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Stay up watching stuff like that, man. Gilbert Godfrey and what was her name? I can't remember her name, but that's nostalgia, man. But USA was the space wrestling.
Wrestling. You
know what I'm saying? Wrestling, you know what I mean? That was a big thing for USA. So USA with that shit. And they had sports. I think they had
the Olympics.
NBA.
They do the Olympic or whatever they had back then. They do the Olympics now.
Yeah. I want to say they had the NBA back then. But yeah. USA with that shit, man.
So are we. And we appreciate everyone for coming. Specifically Kingsport Cal. I think later they added stuff. USA had something, I knew it. USA Up All Night. Remember Gilbert Godfrey? Is that the guy with the voice?
Yep. Iago from Aladdin. The parrot.
Jafar!
Yeah. Duckman. Yeah, Duckman. Yeah.
We're out. Appreciate you guys. Like the stream.
Peace.